In an exciting twist, the long-awaited fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford could finally be happening. Canelo has now accepted Turki Alalshikh's offer, bringing fans one step closer to seeing this massive showdown. Throughout his career, Canelo has always chased the biggest fights with the biggest rewards, and 2025 looks no different. Recently, past statements from Canelo have resurfaced, where he made it clear he's open to facing Crawford in May under Saudi backing. Speaking about the potential fight, Canelo confidently said, "I'm in. Why not? Don't get me wrong, he's a great fighter. But in my weight class, it's an easy fight, easy money." Looking ahead, Canelo stressed that after an incredible career and a dominant win over Edgar Berlanga, his goal is to keep winning. With many opponents in sight, he knows that every decision at this stage of his career could cement his legacy. In the boxing world, Turki Alalshikh has been well aware of Canelo's plans and has been vocal about his desire to make this blockbuster fight happen between the Mexican superstar and the pound-for-pound sensation, Terence Crawford. While discussing the event, he admitted that no official date has been locked in yet. However, he emphasized that once all 2024 events are wrapped up, bringing this fight to life will be a top priority in 2025. It's no secret that Canelo and Turki Alalshikh have had their differences in the past, particularly when it comes to negotiations and business dealings. But now, it seems Turki is putting all that behind him. In his latest interviews, his focus has been clear, setting up the biggest fights that will not only excite fans worldwide, but also give fighters the chance to settle long-standing rivalries. Backing up what the Saudi official has been saying, Terence Crawford has once again expressed interest in facing Canelo. Although no concrete developments have been made yet, Crawford is confident that this fight is only a matter of time. Fans have been debating for years about who the better fighter is, and he believes this matchup is the biggest event in boxing. Highlighting its importance, Crawford insisted that this is the fight everyone has been waiting for. And before either of them hangs up their gloves, the world deserves to see them go head-to-head. Talking about how the fight could play out, Crawford acknowledged that taking on Canelo would be a huge challenge. But he made one thing crystal clear: he's not backing down. Determined to prove that size doesn't define skill, he's confident he has the strategy to outmaneuver Canelo and claim victory on the biggest stage. Addressing his critics, Crawford pointed out that he's been chasing this fight for months, if not years, and when fight night comes, he'll be ready to bring his absolute best to the ring. As hype builds around this potential fight, boxing experts and analysts have started weighing in, including David Benavidez. Just like Crawford, David has been eager for a shot at Canelo for quite some time. Sharing his perspective, he acknowledged that while Crawford is one of the most precise and technically gifted fighters of this era, his size is a real concern. He pointed out that in his last fight against Israil Madrimov at 154 pounds on August 3, 2024, Crawford didn't look as dominant as he did at 147. That raises red flags because moving all the way up to 168, a massive 23-pound jump, to face one of the most dangerous fighters in that division is a serious challenge. Breaking down his analysis, David highlighted the importance of weight classes in boxing. He explained that no matter how skilled a fighter is, size and strength always play a major role. You know what I mean? No matter how good you are, if the other guy is bigger and stronger, he's got an edge, David said. But man, I don't know. Crawford is built different. He's one of a kind, you know? If he's moving up to 168, he'll probably bulk up, but weight classes exist for a reason. Looking at the disadvantages Crawford will face, David pointed out that even if Crawford adds the weight, it's still a drastic change. He stressed that Canelo isn't just any opponent. He's a fighter who reads his rivals, breaks down their defenses, and knocks out even bigger, stronger opponents. While David seemed open to the fight, he didn't hold back from taking a shot at Canelo's choice of opponents. He criticized the fact that, despite having plenty of competitive options, including himself, Canelo seems to only accept fights where he's almost guaranteed to win. David also admitted that while he once pushed hard for a fight with Canelo, he refuses to wait around forever like Crawford, hoping for an opportunity. Instead, he's choosing to move forward with his own career, rather than wasting time chasing a fight that may never come. As reports suggest this fight has reached the negotiation stage, respected boxing analyst and reporter Shiz the Adult weighed in, saying the odds strongly favor Canelo. He highlighted several key factors, with the biggest being the age gap between the two fighters, something many are overlooking. Expanding on his take, Shiz explained that while Terence "Bud" Crawford is a phenomenal fighter, he's already 38 years old, an age where most boxers start declining. With that in mind, stepping into the ring against a younger, naturally bigger powerhouse like Canelo could be an uphill battle for Crawford. Addressing the ongoing comparisons between Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather, which have been circulating online for months, Shiz dismissed them as completely pointless. He argued that Crawford simply doesn't measure up to Floyd in multiple ways, especially after analyzing Mayweather's 2013 fight against Canelo. Back then, Mayweather's speed and defensive brilliance allowed him to handle Canelo's power without showing any weakness. Another key point Shiz made was the weight difference. When Floyd fought Canelo, their size gap wasn't that significant, as they competed at cruiserweight. In contrast, Crawford is making a massive leap across 3 weight classes, which is a much tougher challenge. Considering Canelo's legendary battles against Gennady Golovkin and Floyd Mayweather, Shiz praised the endurance and skill of the Mexican star. After closely reviewing Canelo's recent fight against the younger and physically stronger Edgar Berlanga, he found it impressive how Canelo took heavy shots, blows that could have knocked out most fighters. Yet not only did he absorb them, but he also responded with precise, punishing punches of his own, eventually dropping Berlanga with a single, perfectly placed shot, just like he did against Jermall Charlo. Adding to the praise. For Canelo, Shiz pointed out that years of facing different styles in the ring have turned him into a dominant force, one who is currently at his physical peak. Comparing this to Crawford, he emphasized that aside from the obvious age difference, Canelo's experience and prime condition will make this fight even harder for the American boxer. Shiz also touched on another critical factor. While Terence Crawford is known for his speed and agility, making a sudden jump to 168 pounds could seriously affect his performance. He explained that adding that much weight might slow Crawford down, which would be a huge disadvantage against Canelo, who already has multiple edges in this matchup. Sharing similar views, Demetrius Andrade, a highly accomplished American boxer and multiple-time world champion, offered his take on the fight. He stressed that when it comes to weight class differences, there's no getting around them, no matter how talented a fighter is. Having spent years alongside Crawford during their amateur days, Andrade admitted that while he sees Crawford as one of the best pound-for-pound boxers of this era, the fact remains that he'll be facing a bigger, stronger Canelo, which significantly lowers his chances of winning. Discussing Canelo's raw power, Andrade explained that, if size were the only factor in this fight, things might be more balanced. However, Canelo isn't just bigger. He carries knockout power that can take down even naturally larger fighters. Assessing Crawford's chances, Andrade bluntly stated that they are slim to none. He referenced Canelo's fight against Jamal Charlo, pointing out how, despite Charlo being a strong and durable fighter, Canelo had him running around the ring and even knocked him down. During the interview, Andrade also addressed claims from some in the industry that Terence Crawford's skill level will be enough to overcome the size disadvantage. He dismissed those claims as unrealistic, saying that even if you consider Crawford one of the greatest of this generation, the reality is he won't walk away from this fight unscathed. However, despite believing that Canelo will get the win, Andrade admitted that this will be an exciting fight for fans. On both sides, no matter what, he'll be rooting for his brother in this bout, just like the old days. After months of negotiations, the long-awaited showdown, one that nearly everyone in the boxing world, including top reporter Sean Zittel, has been buzzing about, is finally on the horizon. Fans are eager to see just how massive this event will be. While His Excellency is expected to play a major role, likely under the Riyadh season banner or his newly acquired The Ring, the fight's success will depend heavily on how well the fighters promote it. Canelo has a history of drawing huge crowds, but Terence Crawford is known for staying low-key before fights and rarely engaging in promotional events. Sean also weighed in on Crawford's chances of winning, echoing Andrade's concerns. While many fans are rooting for Crawford because of his reach and high boxing IQ, Sean believes that stepping into the ring with Canelo is an entirely different challenge, especially since this will be Crawford's first fight at 168 pounds, making it an even bigger test. Analyzing the potential outcome, Sean explained that while Crawford is a master at using his reach to control fights, this time, he's facing an opponent unlike any other. Canelo isn't someone who falls for simple setups. He applies constant pressure and has knockout power in both hands, capable of turning the fight in an instant. Sean emphasized that Canelo's biggest weapon in this matchup will be his fists. He pointed out that many people overlook just how dangerous Canelo is. His footwork and stance are top-notch, but it's his raw punching power and deadly accuracy that leave his opponents defenseless. Comparing Crawford's last opponent, Madav, to Canelo, Sean noted that while Madav is young and strong, he doesn't have Canelo's knockout ability. That's why Crawford can't approach. sharing a similar perspective. Boxing analyst Sean Porter voiced his concerns for the 38-year-old Crawford, questioning whether he can endure the kind of heavy shots Canelo will deliver. On the other hand, Sean also pointed out an interesting factor. Canelo tends to start fights aggressively but noticeably slows down in the later rounds. Given his recent performances, it's likely he'll try to finish Crawford early before fatigue sets in. Even with these factors, the fight's outcome remains unpredictable. Sean acknowledged that while Canelo is the clear favorite, due to his size and power, Crawford has a real shot at making a comeback mid-fight. He reminded fans that Crawford has a history of adjusting on the fly and overcoming tough situations, just like he did against Errol Spence Jr., when many doubted him. Only So, what do you guys think about this fight? Did Canelo make the right move by accepting His Excellency's offer? Or does this matchup seem questionable given all the factors that appear to favor Terence Crawford? Fill out the form below and let us know your thoughts. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.